Thank you. Thank you. Hi. The alarm sounds. It's 4 a.m. and it's a struggle to get up. You know those days? I get dressed, grab my camera gear, and I start the 4-mile hike along the beach to the morning's location. As I'm getting there, the first sign of sun's coming up for the day, so I set up and I wait. Now, over the next 30 minutes, the scene is transformed into something that is truly breathtaking. It's a reminder to me that there's no prize for staying in bed. You see, I spend my life chasing colours, searching for the right light at the right time to capture some incredible moments. Now, light is the key to photography. It's the thing that makes a difference. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. But light is fleeting. So that means that I can spend long periods of time where I'm set up and waiting to experience just a few moments, sometimes just a few seconds of inspiration. This is a beautiful spot in Arizona called Antelope Canyon, and it's a great example of this because just for a few months of the year when the arc of the sun is just right, and then only around midday when it's at its highest, and then when there's no cloud cover, and only then for about 20 to 30 seconds do these incredible streams of light appear. And they transform Antelope from a dark and ordinary scene into something that is truly majestic. Now, if I hadn't been there, set up, prepared and waiting, if I had been just 2 minutes later, then those light streams would have appeared. Antelope would have been transformed, but I would have missed the moment. As we capture these moments where light is just right, the next challenge is to bring your own unique perspective to that. Because you see so many photographs, don't you? And they look the same. They could have nice light, but you've seen the same photograph millions of times. And what happens is that, I think as a photographer and in life, we get trained to follow the rules, to apply the principles, and to stay within the guidelines. And all of that helps us to achieve mediocrity. Now, this is a little rock in the middle of Australia where I come from. You might have heard of it. It's called Uluru, maybe more commonly known as Ayers Rock. It's 6 miles around the base. It's 1,100 feet high, so it's bigger than the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's one rock. So now this is one of the most photographed icons in Australia. Literally thousands of people show up for sunset every day and sunrise to capture the colours on the rock. So how do you bring a unique perspective to something that's so iconic? So in my case, I decided that I wanted to be the first to photograph it in the middle of the night, with the only light source being 1 million incredible stars. So now this photograph has been well publicised. It's been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. And what it is, it's my unique perspective on the spiritual heart of a nation. Now, my perspective is constantly challenged as I travel. I meet people who live such different lives to me, who have a totally different view on the world. And as they let me into their world, even just for a short time, it alters my perspective. It changes my horizons. And not only are my images changed by that, but my life is changed by that. Now, one of the things, when you rely upon nature, you can have these incredible days where you are standing at the top of the Andes and having your breath taken away by sunrise. And then there's other times where the moment just doesn't happen. And that's really disappointing. It's frustrating, isn't it? All that time, all that effort, all that energy with nothing to show for it. And what I've come to learn is that these disappointments, they're just a test. The reality is that disappointments will come. We can't avoid them. But it's how we respond to the test, how we're able to move on from that, how we pick ourselves up, and what we learn from it that matters. Now, this is an area of old growth forest. It's the last 25 square miles like this on the planet. It's home to these giant tingle trees. Now, I've been trying for years to capture a photograph here, and every time I've gone, my timing has been just wrong, the light never quite right. In effect, the moment never happened. That was until last year, and I finally had my moment. And all that past disappointment, all that past frustration was replaced with a sense of joy, a real sense of happiness. And what I realised was that perseverance had won out, that effectively I had passed the test. Now picture the scene. You are in a 20-foot boat in the middle of the Indian Ocean off a remote island, and you're searching for the biggest fish in the sea. That's called a whale shark. These are amazing creatures, and they grow to over 40 feet in length. They are the gentle giants of the ocean. So all of a sudden we spot a dark shadow. I've got my diving gear on. I quickly jump over the back of the boat. The guys pass me my camera. I go to swim off, and my fin is jammed between the outboard and the back of the boat. At least that's what I thought. So I turned around, and to my surprise, my friend here, who's a 10-foot grey shark, has got hold of my fin. I grab my camera and I bop him on the nose. He lets go, and here we are looking at each other face to face. Now, I've got some choices to make. It's pretty obvious. I can choose to quickly get back in the boat. Some people would never have got out of the boat because this area is well known for these guys. I can hang on to the back of the boat, frozen with fear and just worried about what might happen next. Or I could take a risk. I could let go and swim out towards the shadow. You know what I did? I let go. Now, for the next 15 minutes, my mate here, he's circling me a few yards away, keeping an eye on me. He's wondering what on earth I'm doing in his backyard. But what happens is I get closer and closer to that shadow, and all of a sudden, out of the blue appears this amazing, gorgeous whale shark. I have my moment. Now, I'm not talking about being reckless, but what I know is that some of my best personal moments, some of my finest images come from when I step out and take a risk. See, if I had never taken a risk, I wouldn't have a story to tell. I wonder if you were there, would you be back in the boat? Would you be frozen with fear? Or would you breathe, let go, and take a risk? See, some people view risk as a negative. I would see it as an essential of life. Now, there's one last type of light that I search for and I struggle to find. It's an inner light. It's a sense of significance, of making a difference, of belonging. See, for 11 months of the year, this is what I do. I chase these wilderness images, but for 1 month of the year, I give my time and some of my talent back to not-for-profit organisations who are making a difference. Recently, I was in Tanzania with Water for Africa. They're putting wells into remote villages, and they're helping families who have the plight of losing one child every 21 seconds from a lack of water or water-related disease. Can you imagine? One child every 21 seconds. So what I've come to learn is that this dream that I have of chasing colours, of finding that elusive light, has to be about more than me and my images. And working with people who are among some of the poorest of the poor in the toughest of conditions has brought colours into my world that I could never have imagined.
Caught in a sunrise of shimmering gold at the dawn. sky and the wind breathe a sigh out across the still morn. Softer than shadows and whispers of blue, there in the mystery calling for you. Creation awakens again as a new day is born. So open your eyes and look for the light. It's burning with brilliance much brighter than you've ever seen. It's heaven and earth, they collide in a kiss where the oceans rise. In a moment you know you're alive, so wake from your dream and look for the light. Mountains of majesty washed in the whitest of snow, cascading canyons and streams running free with their flow. Dreamtime and rainbows, emerald shores, breathless and beautiful, aching for more as the rays of the sun set to bathe in the warm afternoon.